Easter, everybody. It is Easter Sunday here on April 1st of 2018. And I want to make a quick video before I went and spent time with friends and family. And I hope you spend time with friends and family and eat lots of good food. Also, the video today is going to be of this Strider SMF knife. This is one of, my backup blades that I carry to pair with my main defensive weapon using my Glock 19. I would hate to ever have to use this because I don't really study any kind of knife fighting to any great extent. So we all hope that we never have to use anything in self-defense, but I'd really hate to have to use this. But, it's better than nothing. So I carry this as a backup blade. I do not use this as a main cutting task blade. I always do have a Victorinox on me. Let me actually pull that out. You can see I actually have this Victorinox, Wounded Warrior Victorinox in my pocket. And I use that for all my main cutting tasks. This is mainly a backup defensive weapon if I need it to be one. I do like this knife. It has a really, really strong lockup. It also has this choil right here. So if you're holding this knife like this and it does accidentally come unlocked, the choil will hit your finger. I'm not going to say that would completely stop it from cutting you if you had a lot of force into it, but it will hit your finger before it closes on your hand. So, the thing locks up extremely well. You can see the lockup right here. It's really early for a Strider. I have opened and closed this knife quite a bit. As you can see, it's fairly quick. That was pretty bad in front of the camera. It's pretty loose. I can actually just flip it open like you would a Spyderco, with the spidey hole. I can actually stick my finger in here like this and flip it open. I'm having a bad time doing it in front of the camera, but there you go. There's a good deployment. It's loosened up pretty nicely. As far as that goes, I did want the flame titanium. You can see here it is a frame lock. It is a titanium frame lock. The one thing I do kind of wish that Strider had done on these was put that little metal insert right here. As far as I know, he didn't do that on any of these production knives that I know of. But that's a nice little touch, and it kind of keeps this titanium from wearing down. And there might be a reason that he didn't do that. I'm not quite sure as to what that is, and it might just be a little extra work. I know these knives were already, in the $500+ range. So maybe it was just to cut down on cost as much as possible. As you can see here, the blade is really, really thick. This is the spear point version, so it really narrows down to a real nice tip. I will say that I have accidentally dropped this knife. It was sitting in my lap and I had to hurry up and run into Walmart real quick, and I forgot I had it in my lap. I was doing something with it. I jumped out of my truck and it fell over, and it actually put just a little nick right there. And the thing actually opened when it hit the ground, and it didn't do anything to this knife. I mean, other than just that little nick, it didn't really scratch the finish or nothing. I mean, I was really surprised at how well it took that fall from probably, 5 foot. My truck has a 3-inch lift on it, and I was sitting up in the seat and it fell out. So you're probably looking at 5 foot, and it didn't really even do anything hardly at all to this knife. So, that's a good testament of how well these things are built and the quality material that goes into this. It is a G10, green G10 on this side. This knife, I do have to say, is a whole lot lighter than what I thought it was going to be whenever I got it. When I ordered this knife, it was so big that I thought, man, this thing's going to have some weight to it. It is surprisingly light. I mean, it is really, really surprisingly light. I was just amazed at how light it actually was. Here you can see the Strider on this side. You can see the Strider logo on that side. I ordered this from GP Knives. So this, it's not a fake Strider. I know there's a lot of fake Striders going around, but this is a real Strider. I don't have anything against the straight fake Striders, but if I was going to buy a Strider and I've been wanting one for a long time, I actually wanted a real one. And when I heard he was going to stop production on these, I've not done any research on that since that happened. I've not seen a lot of these in stock since then. So I have no reason to believe that was a rumor. But when I heard that, I ran out and bought one as quick as I could. They were sold out at a lot of places whenever I ordered this one. And this was one of the last ones I could find with the flame titanium. It does have the stop right there so you don't overextend the lock bar. This clip is really, really tight, extremely tight. I do like that. You don't have any worries about it falling out of your pocket. You do see the proprietary pivot right here that Strider has. So has really, really good jimping. I will say that. Back here on the back, these large jimping really, really dig into your thumb, as you can see. So you don't have to worry about the knife slipping in your hand. The jimping back here is nice. It doesn't really affect me that much either way, the jimping in the back. If anything, it's when I stick my hand in my pocket, I rub it. But as far as for, grip, I guess if you held it way back here like this, it might help. But, the jimping up here is really what really helps you the most. Let's see how sharp it is. I've never sharpened this knife. I've cut a few things with this, but I do try to, mainly keep this as a defensive blade. So let's just see how sharp it is straight out of the box. But I've carried this knife a lot. I've had it about a year or so, and I've carried this knife a whole lot. So, just lint, stuff in your pocket, beating around. And on another note, it does carry tip up, but it is covered back here in the back. Some knives are open back here, and I don't have a preference either way. But I do feel like some of the open knives, you can get keys in there and hit your blade, or coins or something hit your blade. So I do kind of like it when it's closed in the back. So let's just see if it's still sharp. And this is phone book paper, and you can see how easily it just cuts right through that, like it ripped it a little bit right there because I didn't have a hold of it good. But you can see right there, I mean, it is just effortless. Just the weight of the knife is cutting through that paper. So it comes very, very sharp. It is still very, very sharp. Even with me using it some, it's still incredibly sharp. I do like this knife. If you can find one of these, I recommend buying it. I think these are some of the toughest knives that are made. Mine is centered very, very well. I've heard about some people, talking about some centering issues and fit and finish issues on some of the Striders. Mine has zero issues anywhere. It is very smooth. Like I said, I mean, you can, I'm really failing at that, but you can flip it open. You can hear that it really locks into place whenever you flip it open. Trying to do this in front of the camera is a little bit different than just doing it instinctively. That's why some of my openings aren't actually coming all the way out. But it actually freed up really nice. It's really, really smooth. It was a little stiff when I got it, but the more I used it and the more I opened it, the smoother it got. So the break-in period went really well on this knife. I don't know what else can be said about these Strider knives, except this one is a S30V steel. I do like S30V. I think that's a good steel. It does hold a good edge from my experience. And this knife is a testament to that. Like I said, I don't use it a ton, but I have cut, over a past year, I've cut several things with this knife. I try not to use it a lot because it is like a backup defensive blade, but I have used it in a pinch and, several times. I mean, over a year, you actually use your knife a lot more than you think you're going to. So I've actually used it quite a bit. But it's held an edge very, very well. I've not even touched this up with a strop or anything since I've had it, and you can see how sharp it still is. So that's my review of the Strider knife. I just wanted to get a quick video out today for you guys and show you my other backup defensive blade. I really only carry two. I have some Emersons and stuff, but my main defensive blades is either the Strider or the Ergonomics Tactical. So if you have any questions about this blade, please leave them in the comment, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. The blade length, I do want to get to that. This one does say it's 4 inches long. The cutting length is not quite that because you have this big choil. But the overall length of the blade is actually 4 inches. So if you can't carry a 4-inch knife in your city, try the SNG. I did have an SNG a few years ago. I did like it because it had the flame blade, also the tiger stripe blade, and I wish I could have found one of these with a tiger stripe blade, but I couldn't find it. But my SNG did, and I think it has like a 3.5-inch blade. I'd have to look that up. Maybe I should have before I did the video. But if you're interested in one, I'm not sure if he stopped making these or not. That was the rumor a while back. Maybe you can find one on the secondary market. You might even be able to save a little money if it's in good shape. So it just depends on what you're looking for, the larger SMF or the smaller SNG. I hope you all have a very happy Easter. And like I said, spend time with your family. Remember the reason for Easter, and we'll see you next time.